Introduce Ken Chege, who's the cool kid. Is here as well. How was your weekend, Ken?
My weekend was fine.
It was excellent. Did you watch any of these matches?
Yes, I watched rugby.
You did, eh?
I watched Fiji, England.
Okay, but what worked for you over the weekend?
What for me was actually not coming from rugby. There was it was an international window. So there were all these friendlies that were ongoing.
Correct, yes.
And you know, the AFCON draw had just been done on Thursday night.
Correct.
And I looked at the group of death. You know, there's that group D, which has the Gambia, Senegal, Cameroon, and Guinea. And I looked at what they were doing. And what impressed me was that Senegal actually played Cameroon.
Okay, so that worked for you.
And that, yes, I saw it. And I think that's going to be a masterpiece.
What didn't work for you?
There was one. What didn't work is Cote d'Ivoire. Because Cote d'Ivoire hasn't
so
won a match in a while.
Yeah.
No, they're not. It's the same soccer. Cote d'Ivoire has not won a match in a while, and they are the hosts. Because they only managed to draw. But yeah, let's wait.
We'll talk about that during the draw as well. Yeah. What didn't work for me? First of all, Kenya lost a very dear coach in a man called Peter Akatsa. Now, you probably remember him from the 1987 All-Africa Games hockey team. And one of the best hockey teams that Kenya has ever had. Akatsa was a coach. He had switched over to football and other events as well. Coaches will always be coaches. He was coaching at the Christian local university in the US. And he passed on as a coach there, and is one of the men that we will be mourning. And then the other thing that didn't work for me, Titus Ekiru banned for 10 years and has his results from May 16, 2021 disqualified. And then he also has to return all the prize monies. This is not the easiest thing to do, especially for athletes. This athletics integrity unit is really catching them. Two of them this week. The biggest of them was Titus Ekiru. What worked for me? Harambee Stars men and the win. Harambee Stars women's team performed well after as well. And then the other thing that worked well for me was the international friendlies that Ken has talked about. But let's get deep into our program now. First, I want you to indulge in what we're talking about today. I have a question for you, and you can text us and even tweet us and tell us what your opinion is. Do you think that sports still is a unifying factor in a nation? Do you think that sports still has that unifying factor in a nation? I am at Bernard_sports, at KChege_sports. That's where you can talk to us from, so that we can involve you in the program as well. Let's talk about what happened now. Harambee Stars and the Russia game. Ken,
yes.
What's your opinion? Did you watch the match?
Yes, I watched tidbits of the match.
Tidbits
of the match, yes.
But the game was not played in tidbits.
I watched the bigger chunk of the match, Bernard, and highlights. And, you know, we conceded first in a very short way.
What did you think about the team, first of all? Because even before the team left, let me finish my question. Yes. There was a hue and cry,
Yes.
By the time we left here, because of the striking.
Yes.
And it was because of having left the Gor Mahia striker, Benson Omala, out.
Yes.
Yeah, but the team in itself, what do you make of it from what you heard, from what you read, from what you watched as well?
Bernard, what I make of this team, two things I looked at. I looked at the defense and I looked at the striking. Now, we are very, very reliant on Olunga. But what has happened over time is, because Olunga is now an international name, everybody knows Olunga. So every time they are playing, Olunga is always heavily marked. He doesn't get the chances. Now, Okumu tried, you know, and you can see that goal is scored there. The man tried to run away from the strikers. Okay?
All right.
The defense, the defenders. But also, we are having a problem with our defense. The goal that we conceded is like almost a replica of the goal that we conceded when we played South Sudan here. So I'm not sure. Leaving Omala out, maybe not. You see,
let's talk about one thing first, Ken. Let's talk about one thing first, because you are all over the place with the discussion. First of all, Masoud Juma is the one who scored that goal. Now, the thing is, you made a good point that Olunga is probably marked, and that is why Teddy Akumu got the ball back from Olunga to put it in the net.
Yes.
The other thing is Masoud Juma's goal there. I think because it was coming off a defender, it was not ruled to be offside. But it looked like he was in the offside position at that moment. But overall, this was a good game by the Harambee Stars. Never mind the fact that it's not going to count towards any rankings, because Russia is still banned. You understand that?
Yeah,
so it's not counting towards any ranking, although Russia is ranked slightly higher. But the more the country plays high-profile friendlies, the more the country solidifies as well.
Yes, the better we get at. I mean, look, Russia is 39th as of last when they were ranked. Kenya is 109th. So look at the guys who scored the goals for Russia.
Yeah, there it is. I'm just confirmed. Now that cannot be offside because the ball is coming off a defender and is the one who's headed it in that direction. So that is why that was not ruled offside. And whether it was deliberate or not is another question, but that header is going backward. So anyway, congratulations to the Harambee Stars and hoping that